This is the
Retro Power
AyaNeo Air. It's a freaking computer that fits in your pocket, that does it all. But how well does it do it? No, seriously, I'm asking you. You don't know? Damn it. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to find out myself then. Thanks for nothing. Hello, hi, I'm TechDweeb, welcome. Thanks for clicking on the video today. Let's read some fan mail, why not? Dear TechDweeb, thank you for your fun, informative videos. I love root beer too. Your cat is a beautiful princess. Your mom is a special lady for letting you stay in her basement even though you are 40. I don't know whether it's because you deserve it or because I feel sorry for you, but here's a toy for you to play with and enjoy. Maybe you'll want to make a review about it or something on your channel. Anyways, I hope you're having a great day. Love, your favorite subscriber. Oh wow, that was nice. I wonder what's in here. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys. Are you serious? Are you freaking kidding me?
Retro Power
AyaNeo Air. Holy crap. Holy crap. I'm just so happy right now. I could just... This was a dramatization of a real thing that happened. A subscriber sent this to me. I know this video is supposed to be about the device, and I'll get to that in a second, but I gotta take a minute to say, like, thank you. Thank you so much. That is so freaking generous. I honestly, I can't believe how lucky I am to have subscribers like you guys, helping the channel out, helping me do what I do, making me feel special. Oh, this hit me right in the feels. A dweeb feels loved. So yeah, this is the
Retro Power
AyaNeo Air. It's a little bitty handheld gaming PC. These things have come a long way in a short time. I'm gonna try to go through this whole video without saying the words Steam Deck. So this thing is similar to other devices, other handheld gaming PC devices made by Valve that you can play Steam games on, but is it any good? What are the shortcomings? Is it worth the price of admission? Does it really have
Retro Power?
Well, I can't tell you that if I don't open the box, so let's open the box then. As you can see, this is the
Retro Power
version of the AyaNeo Air, and I'm actually really into the branding and visual design they have going on here. In the box, we are greeted by some
Retro Power
branding. Real gamers, no gamers. Okay, if you say so. A nice fancy 65-watt charging block, also with
Retro Power.
I love this thing. Some other plugs for Europe or Scandinavia or wherever. USB-C cord. A bunch of Word papers for people who know how to read, and some USB-A to USB-C adapters for plugging in your things with plugs. And here's the
Retro Power
AyaNeo Air itself. This version is more expensive than a similarly spec'd base model of the AyaNeo Air. The base Air comes in black and white with some pretty interesting color choices, but this version has really nailed the retro vibe. I love the beige plastic with the muddy green bumper buttons and triggers, the Game Boy red buttons. The hand feel of the device itself is super premium quality, but it's the visual touches that give it its true
Retro Power.
The size and shape of this thing is probably my favorite aspect of it. The ergonomics are focused on the smooth contours without any hard edges digging into your hands. It's not big, but it's not tiny. It's sort of a middle-sized device, as this form factor goes. The controls are amazing. We have Hall sensor joysticks and triggers that feel so sensitive and responsive, it's made all my other devices feel cheap and imprecise in comparison. On the top, beside the bumper, this green strip here are actually two hidden buttons. These can be customized so they do different functions if they're pressed or held down. The face buttons and the D-pad are great, the D-pad especially. As soon as you get this in your hands, there's no doubt that this is a premium device. Since this is a computer, the power button has a fingerprint reader for fast, secure unlocking. We also have some AyaNeo specific buttons. There's a task switching button for quickly moving from your game to the desktop, and an Aya Space button that you can tap to open the Aya Space quick settings bar, or you can hold it to open up the Aya Space software. More on that in a bit. There are several different models of the AyaNeo Air. The base model comes with a Ryzen 5 5560U chip and up to 16 gigabytes of RAM with 512 gigabytes of storage. There are two custom editions that come fully spec'd out. This
Retro power.
version and a B-Duck special version, whatever that is. These can come with the base chip or the chip from the Pro version, and the Pro version comes with a more powerful Ryzen 7 5825U chip and up to 32 gigabytes of RAM and 2 terabytes of storage. I should mention that there's also a micro SD card slot to allow for cheap expansion. That's what I did. My version came with 512 gigabytes of storage, and I added 512 gigabytes with an SD card. The screen is flippin' gorgeous. When I first fired this up, I couldn't believe how good it looked. You're gonna have to trust me here. The video footage does not do it justice. It's a 5.5-inch 1080p AMOLED screen. A touchscreen, of course, which is important with a Windows-based handheld. The dynamic range on this screen is just incredible. It gives us actually black blacks and bright saturated colors. It's honestly one of, if not the best screens that I've ever seen with my own eyes. One downside that I've heard from some other reviewers mention is the bezels on the side of the screen. I guess I agree. A bezel-less design would be nice, but it's not like terrible or anything. And it's not like other devices don't have bezels after all. The speakers are... here's the thing about the speakers. They sound like crap out of the box. When I first started using it and listening to it, I almost felt like my ears needed a cleaning, and they did. They were super gross, you guys. But even that didn't help the sound. One thing that Retro Game Corp's mentioned in his guide was to use a program called FX Sound to adjust the tuning of the speakers. It's a night and day difference. The speakers actually sound amazing when you use this program. It kind of blows my mind that the device came with the speakers tuned the way they are, because it's such an easy fix. There are two types of portable gaming devices in the world. There are portable gaming devices that are pocket-friendly, and then there are devices that are technically portable, but no way are you going to be able to carry them around with you in your pocket. You'll carry them in your bag. And there are also two types of people in this world. Those who are subscribed to TechDweeb and those who aren't subscribed. Holy crap, less than 25% of you are subscribed? What the heck, man? What am I doing wrong? Is it me? Is it my voice? Or my shirt? Or my weird long arms? It's my arms, isn't it? Look, it's not my fault, okay? It's genetics. I don't make fun of you for your stupid nose, do I? Your stupid pug nose? No, I don't. So subscribe. Come on now. Yeah, this device is the fits in your pocket size. It's not tiny, but I carried this around in my pocket for a few hours as a test, and it was doable. But even as a device that maybe you don't carry in your pocket, but it's so small that you can just toss in your purse when you go to get your wisdom teeth removed, its small size means that it's very comfortable to hold. It feels like a perfect blend of comfort and portability. The AyaNeo Air, both the base model and the Pro, are not as powerful as some of the other handheld gaming PCs out there, but with great power comes great size. And this thing is way smaller than most of those big boy handheld PCs. And considering the size difference, the comparable performance difference is actually really impressive in my opinion. There are trade-offs, of course. The AyaNeo Air does warm up when in use, especially if you have the TDP turned up for maximum performance. However, most of the heat is centered near the middle of the device and it exhausts out the top, so you don't really feel it getting warm in your hands very much. And there is something you can do about the warmth. More on that in a minute. As for games, you could play almost anything on this thing. Most AAA games at lower settings, indie games play great, obviously. Older games at max settings are good to go. And of course, retro games. Performance is a bit of a balancing act. Crank up the power to the max and crush drowners in Witcher 3, but you'll only get an hour and a half of playtime maybe. Or lower the power and chill out with some Vampire Survivors for like 3 hours. Or forget gaming altogether and just watch TechDweeb on YouTube. That's always a good choice. The The AyaNeo Air runs Windows 11 Home, essentially making it a PC. You can use the thumbstick as a mouse, or plug in a mouse and keyboard, or a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard, and a monitor for a traditional PC experience, which is surprisingly comfortable. The included ISpace software is essential for the experience. Tap the button to access important settings, including the TDP profile. You can select a TDP of 5 to 15 watts. Indie games, for instance, will run fine at lower wattage. However, for more demanding games, going up to 15 watts means the games will run good, but the fan will kick in and the device will warm up, reducing battery life. And if you hold the ISpace button, you'll be brought to the full desktop version of their software. Here we have the ability to customize the quick menu options. We get a games browser, and you can deep dive into the settings of the device. You can customize those extra buttons up top, change the sensitivity of the joysticks and the triggers, and most importantly, you can customize the RGB lights on the thumbsticks, so you can set them to their correct color of orange. The experience of actually using this to game is great. I mean, it's just a PC, right? I could launch Steam Big Picture Mode and browse my library and launch the games. Yeah, it plays those high-end AAA games, and it's kind of cool, almost as a novelty. But am I really going to prefer playing those games on a handheld device compared to my TV or my gaming PC? No is the answer. My favorite thing to do on this device so far is playing older PC games, indie games, and retro games. These are the games that I want to have in my pocket. I started a real playthrough of Fallout New Vegas, and I've been loving it. And because it's an older game, I could lower the settings down and lock it to 30 FPS and run it at like 5 watts and play for hours. And this thing is amazing for indie games. Because of the game bundles I've bought and subscribed to over the years, I have a huge backlog of amazing indie games that I'm excited to play through on this thing. These games aren't demanding at all, so they play great and they don't kill the battery. And on this 5.5-inch AMOLED display, it's just about the nicest and most comfortable way to play them that I can think of. And of course, it wouldn't be a TechDweeb review if I didn't talk about retro games. I copied over my RetroBat installation to a 512GB microSD card, and I can start that up, and then it's as if I'm running a dedicated Bonocera handheld. I get my full screen RetroBat interface, all my games are shown with videos and box art. The games start up, it's easy to get in and out, easy to change the settings. It's my favorite way to play games on PC with this front end, and now I have my entire retro gaming library right here at my fingertips, with all the conveniences of running these games on PC. And the performance is great, even with the higher end emulation stuff. As great as the AyaNeo Air is, I must admit that there are some downsides. The first is the battery. The Pro version has a bigger battery, but even still, it can't compete with the big boys in the handheld gaming PC space. There are some weird quirks to using Windows on this device. A couple times, my joystick stopped controlling my mouse cursor. Sometimes the resolutions get weird. It feels a little bit janky on rare occasions, and I could look past that, but I can understand if some users would be frustrated by that. And as much as I love the size and portability of this thing, I must admit that this screen is too small for some games. I tried to play Crusader Kings 3 on here, and I was instantly like, nope, that's not gonna work. And finally, the price. It's not as expensive as some of the very high-end options, but it's not cheap by any means. It's the same price as that other popular cheap handheld gaming PC. And while it's not as powerful, you do get stuff for that money. You get a device that's got good power, considering the pocketable size, a 1080p AMOLED screen, Hall sensor sticks and triggers. It's a premium device in lots of ways, but it also carries a premium price tag. Every device has its shortcomings, and this is no exception, but I can't say that they detract much from my experience. I freaking love this thing. It's my first portable handheld gaming PC, and I love it to bits. It has amazing ergonomics, amazing controls, the screen is gorgeous. While you can play AAA games, it really shines with playing older PC games, indie games, and retro games. And it's a beautiful blend of comfort and portability. Sure, there are some downsides, and while I can't say if it's a better value than those other handheld gaming PCs, I can say that my time with it has sold me on it. I can't put this thing down. The
Retro power.
AyaNeo Air gets my biggest thumbs up. Look, Look how freaking big my thumb is. That's how much I love this thing. And that brings us to the end. Let me know your thoughts about this thing in the comments below. I look forward to reading the hate from the Steam Deck fanboys and fangirls amongst you. And while you're down there, click the thumbs up button if you liked the video, or don't if you didn't. And subscribe if you haven't yet, obviously. That's it from me. I'm gonna go play some bot vice. I'm TechDweeb. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.